What do you want?
I suspect you are the one who has been interfering with a rather personal matter. The Demiguise statues, and the moons contained therein, were placed as they were for good reason. You should not meddle in the personal affairs of others.
I don't think Mr. Pemberton meant to use his own stationery. He knows something about those Demiguise moons. He's in Hogsmeade, apparently. Perhaps I shall pay him a visit.
It's never been this long. I just know something.
Hello, Adelaide. I received your owl.
Thank you for coming. You see, my Uncle Roland is a metal trader who's quite well known in the goblin community. He normally sends me owls every week when he's on his business travels. In his last owl, he alluded to dealings with those radical goblins, Ranrock's loyalists. It's been ages since that owl and I'm worried. What with the troll attack on Hogsmeade and the rumours that goblins may have been involved, well, I'm fearing the worst. Should I be worried about my uncle, or am I overthinking this?
I think you're right to be concerned, Adelaide. Your uncle may be in trouble.
You're much more understanding than Professor Weasley. She heard I was going to look for him and forbade me from leaving the grounds. She's convinced he can handle himself, but I can't concentrate on anything until I know he's all right. Could you try to find out for me? From what I hear, you're almost as adventurous as Uncle Roland.
Has your uncle traded with many goblins?
Yes, for ages. Even speaks gobbledygook. But he only recently mentioned Ranrock's lot, insisting the galleons were worth the risk. He does it for me. Between robes and supplies, attending Hogwarts costs a fair sickle. And besides that, Uncle Roland has expensive taste. He's sacrificed so much for me over the years. I promised him that as soon as I finish Hogwarts, I shall be the one taking care of him.
I take it you and your uncle are close?
We are. My mother died when I was born, and I lost my father when I was 5. Uncle Roland's looked after me for as long as I can remember. He knows I get anxious when he travels, and that's why he sends me all the owls, to let me know that he's all right.
I'll try and look into it for you, Adelaide.
Thank you. He's very thorough in his record keeping, notes all his trades in a journal, makes maps. In fact, in his last owl, he drew me a map of his next stop. He planned to set up camp north of here. I do hope you're able to find out where he is. Thank you again for any help you can provide. Roland would never leave me to worry like this.
Roland is all right. She seems very worried. Adelaide. Maybe near Brockborough, past the river. This be Mr. Oakes' campsite. Ranrock's loyalists, just ahead. Should I take them by force or be discreet?
What have we here? Another human?
Revelio!
What was that? Out there.
Arrest them.
I refuse to be defeated by a vegetable. You'd be better suited for gardening than the...
You won't stop me.
I won't rest. Dead. This is where you will fail. No! I will make you pay. Get accustomed to that.
Now to find out what happened here. Mr. Oakes' trade journal. Revelio. Accio. Depulso. I should investigate. Revelio. Revelio. Adelaide said that her uncle kept notes of his trades, maps. Perhaps. This will lead me to him.
Mysie, I do appreciate what you went through to find my brother. Thank you. I still can't believe that Bardolph has joined the Ashwinders. Can't see them bringing him any happiness. Marvellous. I could always use more of these. Thank you for all that you've done for us. Thank you for passing through.
Are expensive, you know.
Revelio.
Yes, but only muddled falls are evident. It's been ages since I've found anything worth poaching near Crackcroft.
A rock formation. That's the first landmark on this map. Now to find the crooked tree.
Reparo. Revelio. Reparo.
Charles won't get the best of me.
Incendio.
This looks intriguing.
I almost captured a grapphorn in the forest. It escaped, but still.
Revelio. Incendio! Incendio!
Eight legs is simply too many.
Leviosa! Accio! Incendio! Revelio! Lumos!
Show yourself!
Be it upon your heads when our expectations take flight like thestrals. Be it upon your conscience when our graves find us all too soon. I'll get that goblin helm back. Hopefully by rummaging you.
I'll watch the light go out of your eyes.
You're the little sod that saved Treadwell. I know you. Ah! You. Somebody.
Confringo! Reducto! How did that feel? Reducto! Confringo! Hold still! Reducto! Confringo! Not so tough now, are ya? Reducto! Reducto!
The beasts around here can sleep a bit easier now.
Revelio!
for better things than this so-called patrol.
What do we have here?
Get away! This is almost too easy! Reminds me of the time I did I was only young, mind, but not like I'd fall out now.
I may have more luck higher up in the keep.
Put me down! At once!
Pity.
The ladder. That's what I need.
Kill spells glance off of me.
Yes, let me go.
Pity. You won't know.
Stone walls do it. Patricus Totalis. Revelio.
The wizards will be defeated.
Revelio.
Wizard kind will submit to us once the war is over.
Revelio.
Goblins will finally rule over wizards. I know it! Aha!
This is the spot on the map. I'd best have my wits about me. Now here's a sad-looking place. Patricus Totalis.
You almost had a lucky shot!
Descendo.
As if you could best the likes of me.
Potato.
Why?
Descendo.
Revelio. Not the best place for an unaccompanied.
Why am I always on patrol? No way to find you. Razor! That student!
Incendio!
Is that it?
Descendo! Confringo! Arresto momentum! Convulso! Revelio!
What went on here, I wonder? Trouble's brewing and I'm without my friends. What will we find in here?
Revelio!
No witch or wizard will be spared. It's punishment to us all to have that miserable human around.
Who's there? Oh, this day's gone on too long. One less human to worry about. Well played. I don't have time for this. Stop it!
It looks as though Adelaide's instincts were spot on.
You only have Ranrock to blame. Revelio. Revelio. Alohomora.
Revelio.
You haven't had mushroom stew like what my mother used to make. Oh, like heads of lettuce, those mushrooms were.
Revelio.
He'll learn his lesson after being locked away. You can count on that. No! I will make...
Revelio. Revelio. Lumos. Revelio.
A human's word is worthless. This prisoner owes us the metal we were promised.
How do you expect...
You won't
One less human to worry.
Incendio.
If only Ranrock were here, don't you mean? That's the student who uses strange magic.
Incendio.
I won't rest. Dead.
Won't get away with that. I shall avenge you.
Incendio.
You won't get away with that. Ranrock will unite us.
Expelliarmus.
I shall avenge your death.
Protego.
I will make you pay.
Ranrock has fooled you all. To your Revelio. Incendio. Revelio.
boiler door. How to open it?
Revelio.
I wonder if Adelaide's uncle could be down there.
Well, this might be the best meal I've had in years. No, I mean it. I don't think I shall need to eat again till next week.
Arrest them.
How nice of you to stop by. Was that I will make you pay.
Descendo.
I won't rest until you're dead.
Levioso. Incendio. You've one less follower, Ranrock. Revelio.
Hello? Mr. Oakes?
Yes, I'm here. They've taken my wand. This cell has an enchanted lock. I have experience with these locks, but I need my wand if I have any chance of opening it. Look for a boiler door. I've heard them speak of it.
I need to find Mr. Oakes' wand. Where could it be?
Revelio. Incendio. Revelio.
Too quiet, if you ask.
One way or another, we'll get what we're owed.
Your little snacky tricks won't distract me! Are you sure you're not a muggle? Spelling I won't, little moon calf. Great, come here. Come here. Get it. Losing your stride. Impressive. You're making this too easy. You could get to surrender now. A miss. I will make you pay.
Let me go.
You are
Away with that. I shall avenge your death.
I won't rest until you're dead.
Your blood's on Ranrock's hands. Revelio.
This must be Mr. Oakes's wand. Perhaps now he can set himself free.
Revelio.
Pass it to me. Hurry, before they come. I must get out. Hurry. Oh, my wand. Oh, thank Merlin. Thank you.
You did it! I found my wand and... Wait, you're a student? Oh, we must get you to safety immediately. It's dangerous.
It's all right, Mr. Oakes. I've dealt with these goblins before.
Dear Merlin, you're either very lucky or very talented. Well, how did you find me?
I'm a friend of Adelaide's. She was worried about your business with Ranrock's loyalists.
Oh, she was right to be. I couldn't go through with the agreement, and when I told them, I ended up blindfolded and behind bars. Been locked in that infernal cell for so long, they'd forgot I was even there. I overheard things. If only I could reward you for what you've done. Blasted goblins stole every Knut on me. All I can say is thank you, truly.
You mentioned you overheard things.
Sad tale, really. I think I know where Ranrock's unfortunate vendetta against wizardkind began. Although dragon breeding was outlawed by the Warlocks Convention of 1709, Ranrock stumbled upon an illegal dragon camp. He was young, found the creatures fascinating. He'd visit the camp in secret whenever he could, never making his presence known. After weeks of sly surveillance, he finally summoned the courage to speak to the wizard in charge. Ranrock wanted to join them, and the creatures. The wizard happened to drop his wand. Ranrock saw an opportunity. He picked it up, went to hand it back as a means of introducing himself. The sight of a goblin with a wand sent the wizard into an instant rage. He beat Ranrock nearly to death. Ever since, Ranrock has despised wizardkind, sees us all as cruel.
Am I right that you speak gobbledygook?
Unbeknownst to Ranrock's fiends, I do. I've always had an affinity for goblin culture. Knew I wanted to be a metal trader ever since I was a lad. It wasn't easy learning the language. It's complex, and my memory's as weak as my knees these days. But after decades working with fine goblin folk, I grew fairly proficient. At least, I'd like to think so.
I'm grateful I was able to help you, Mr. Oakes. Adelaide thinks the world of you.
Oh, and I her. She's become quite savvy to my trading habits, always analyzing my detailed owls. If only I hadn't resorted to trading with such fiends. A lesson I shan't soon forget. Having my wand back is like being reunited with an old friend. I must return home and inform Adelaide of my safety. Will you be all right?
I'll be fine, Mr. Oakes. You get back to Adelaide. I assure you, her worries outweigh yours.
Oh, I'm anxious to see my dear niece. And then I plan to travel far from here for my next round of trading. Thank you. May life reward you justly for your deeds. Be well, my friend.
Mr. Oakes was lucky. Ranrock's lot would never have freed him. Deke.
Ah, Deke is so happy to see you. Deke noticed this bag in the room the other day. You must need it to help with your schoolwork. Deke has seen one of these before. Deke calls it a knapsack. Perfect for gathering and transporting beasts. Pleasant little breeze.
I have been thinking about something Professor Howen said in Beasts class, that I should study as many beasts as I can on my own time. She also mentioned that poachers have been active in the area. So, perhaps the beasts will be safer with us than out on their own.
Precisely what Deke was thinking. You see, the room knew exactly what you needed, and luckily, Deke can show you how to best use the knapsack and where. Come along, then. Our first stop will be beyond the castle grounds. We can leave now, or you can come and find Deke when you're ready to go.
Ready for a little change in fashion, are we? Plenty to choose from here, so take your time.
I suspect you have a sharp eye for fashion. Ravelli, stop by whenever you're about.
Care enough to remove my demiguise statues.
Pardon me, sir, but about those curious demiguise statues I've seen.
What? Who are you? Why do you ask?
They're quite clever.
Oh, thank you. A lot of craftsmanship and care went into them. I assume.
So you did create them?
Yes, I did. It was a ploy to give that pathetic oaf Moon a taste of the grief he caused me years ago. You are the one who's been pilfering them.
I am, at the request of Mr. Moon. I received your owl on your stationery.
Ah, well, fitting Moon would enlist a student. Too cowardly to do it himself. Huh, hasn't changed a bit. Even when we were at school, he was a cowardly bully. Gave me a horrible nickname, which I shan't repeat. I was thrilled when we left school and he seemed gone for good. Then I started seeing him around Hogsmeade. It was too much. Even if I do take satisfaction in that his life's destiny was to be a lowly caretaker.
Mr. Moon does a good deal for the school, and he's taught me a lot. He's terrified of those statues.
I know. You should have seen his face when that boggart appeared. Oh, priceless. That's when I knew what I needed to do. I simply didn't want to encounter him anymore. So, I shrewdly put a boggart in his path to learn his greatest fear. I then created the demiguise statues to keep him in his place, so to speak. The Moons were inspired play on his name. It worked brilliantly. Until you started clearing them out.
The statues are a form of bullying. You're no better than him. Perhaps it's time you both moved on.
Fair point, I suppose. If they've terrified him, as you say, he may have learned his lesson.
Mr. Moon, I've learned who's behind the demiguise statues. It was a classmate of yours that you bullied, Piers Pemberton.
Oh, I might have known. Pigtails Piers.
I don't think he likes being called that.
Of course he does. Oh, he had such flowing locks. And we used to laugh about them. I laughed the hardest of all. Clever, clever man. I'd no idea he was so devious. I must go and congratulate him. Whatever statues remain seem less terrifying now that I know they were put out by old pigtails. Continue collecting them if you like. As for me, I'm going to go and pay a visit to my old friend.
I'll fix him, that charm grinder.
Sir, is everything all right?
How kind of you to ask. The name's Ackley Barnes. And no, it is not. I'm plotting a sort of revenge against my ex-business partner, a conniving fiend by the name of Alfred Lawley. He cut me out of our herbology supply business, just as we were getting started. Said I was too volatile to work with. I'll show him volatile.
That must have been frustrating for you.
Yes, it was. Terribly. I'm simply passionate about my work. Supercilious fool. He's passionate about things too, as I intend to remind him by relieving him of his prized possession. A venomous tentacula he's grown from a seedling that was to be the keystone of our business venture. I can't get anywhere near it with Ruth Singer watching me like an augury. Lawley's doing, no doubt. But no one would suspect a student. How would you feel about committing some grand plant larceny?
You said Mr. Lawley was your ex-business partner. What were you working on?
I had an idea to train venomous tentacula, create guard plants, if you will, that attacked when ordered. We hit a snag when one ate Lawley's Kneasel. After that, he cut me out of the business, the short-sighted fiend.
Why do you need Mr. Lawley's venomous tentacula in particular?
Simple. If I have it, then Lawley doesn't. Ergo, I can launch my business, and he must start all over again. I'm killing 2 snidgets with 1 stone.
What else is in Mr. Lawley's cellar?
All of Lawley's herbology supplies. He has quite the collection. Fill your pockets while you're there. Or to slow him down for a bit. And I can get my business going minus any competition.
I'll get the venomous tentacula for you.
Marvelous. I know a fellow seeker of justice when I see one. Take as many herbology supplies as you like while you're in his cellar. All I ask is that you bring me the venomous tentacula. Remember, I just need that venomous tentacula.
Seems I need to find Mr. Lawley's cellar. This must be it. This must be the cellar. How to find that venomous tentacula? Better not let Mr. Lawley see me. Aloha Mora. Where is that venomous tentacula? Revelio. Incendio. Incendio! Incendio! Revelio. Incendio. Revelio. Now that I have the venomous tentacula, I should return to Mr. Barnes.
Completed that errand for me yet?
Hello, Mr. Barnes. I have that venomous tentacula.
Wish I could see Lawley's face when he realizes his prized possession is gone. We'll see who's volatile now. Well done. I'll take it off your hands now.
Of course. Glad to hand it over, frankly.
I shall make an ocean of galleons, and Lawley's business will be sunk. Here's a little something for your next trip to Zonko's. Oh, to see the look on Lawley's face the next time he wanders down to his cellar.
Glad you came.
Hello, Sirona. I received your owl. How are you?
Hello, my friend. Did you ever find Lodgok?
I did, thank you. We had a good conversation. He sends you his best.
Glad to hear it. I shan't ask for details of your little chat, and I'll refrain from telling you to be careful yet again. But I hope you will be, whatever your plans.
Of course. Your owl mentioned you're needing my help with something?
I do. I thought you might be just the person to do a favour for my friend Dorothy Sprottle in Upper Hogsfield.
I've actually met Mrs. Sprottle. I recently spoke with her about her friend Claire Beaumont.
She's lovely. Her late husband Aidan was a friend of my father's. In fact, I'd stayed with Dot and Aidan the summers I waited tables here as a student. I've seen her a few times since Aidan passed, but the pub's been so busy lately, I've not been as attentive as I'd have liked. I wonder if you might pop in and see her. She may need some help collecting ingredients for her supply of Wiggenweld potion. And you could retrieve something of mine in the process. A box, full of old letters and such.
Why does Mrs. Sprottle keep a supply of Wiggenweld potion on hand?
Dot's a skilled potioneer. She's been supplying travelling vendors with Wiggenweld potion. An ordinary precaution that has, unfortunately, become a necessity, what with Ranrock's loyalists disrupting the trade routes.
Why did Mr. and Mrs. Sprottle have your box of letters after all this time?
It's one of a few that I had when I was young. Dot found it when she was clearing out a closet. Can't imagine what's in there. Probably terribly theatrical. The ramblings of a teenage witch and her friends. You're welcome to take a peek inside, if you do find it. To be honest, I'd imagine it contains some lovely memories.
I'll try to go and see her when I can.
It would mean the world to me, and to Dorothy. Aidan was bringing the box of letters to me when he was taken ill. Dot can tell you where he might have dropped it. You'll find the hamlet just north of Hogsmeade. Please do give Dot my love.
Upper Hogsfield. Now where to find Mrs. Sprottle? It's like a place right out of a storybook. Nice to see you again, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Sirona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you.
Oh, dear Sirona, a gem. Has been for as long as I've known her.
She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion.
And she's correct. My darling Aidan used to collect Horklumps for me. Since he died, my supply has dwindled.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Sprottle.
Oh, thank you. Love of my life. A bit lost without him. If you wouldn't mind gathering some Horklumps for me, I'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
Believe it or not, I have some with me.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion.
Sirona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill.
Indeed he was. I'd almost forgotten. I stumbled upon it just before Aidan died. He was hoping to go through it with Sirona over a butterbeer or two. Those two were always like two bowtruckles in a branch. Aidan took ill when he was collecting Horklumps on his way to see her. He made it home, but I fear he dropped the box in the cavern. The cavern is in the hills just southwest of our hamlet. You can gather Horklumps and collect the box of letters there.
Sirona said she lived with you during the summers when she was at Hogwarts. What was she like?
Oh, goodness. Well, she was almost exactly like she is now. Charming, good head on her shoulders, taking care of everyone. I can't tell you the fun we had when she and her friends would visit us during the year, all buzzing about, practicing charms. Talented group. Her friend Mirabelle was a genius in the garden. Learned it all from her Muggle parents, if you can believe it.
Do you remember anything about the letters you put in the box?
Oh, of course. A few letters from some of her school friends. Some nice memories. I even included a letter Sirona had written to me when she was staying with us. Thought she might enjoy reading it. I know when I read writing from my youth, I'm always astonished at how much I've changed, and yet remain the same.
Thank you, Mrs. Sprottle.
Thank you. I'll be here if you are able to collect those hawk lumps. I, and the vendors I help, would greatly appreciate it. Hope they know what they're doing.
This must be the cabin Mrs. Sprottle mentioned.
It isn't Orion's precious little guardian. Just have passion. Marvelous! Betting on the dragon fight was the best decision I've made yet.
Why do I always end up on patrol duty? Child's play.
Is that the best you got?
You're a slippery little shrike, aren't you?
You'll never
Press that
You're not going to
Expulsum.
You may want to move. I know you
Stop that!
Incendio.
That's proper feeble, that is!
Student who released Fred.
Right, gymnastics.
Incendio.
Going to use your special magic again? Had enough yet?
Incendio.
Let's play Predator and Prey, shall we?
One less poacher in the wizarding world. Leave the Hawklumps to Mrs. Sprottle, but I still need to visit the cave to find Sirona's box of letters. Perhaps I'll find more Hawklumps while I'm there. Better have a look around. See about the Hawklumps and the box of letters. That's all the Hawklumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased.
Revelio. Accio. Levioso. so.
Lumos. Revelio. Lumos. Revelio.
Either I'll have to fight that troll, or avoid it altogether.
Incendio. Incendio. Confrigo. Glacius. Arresto momentum.
easy, my large friend.
Revelio. Revelio.
This must be Sorona's box of letters. I should take this box of letters to Sirona. I think that's everything. Sirona will be glad to have this back.
Revelio. Repulsor. Revelio. Revelio. Incendio. Revelio. Revelio.
Hello, Sirona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some hawk lumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
I wondered about some of the letters in the box.
Of course. It appears most of the letters were from fellow students.
I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlick?
It is. Still one of my dearest friends. I know she wouldn't mind you having seen that letter. She and I are of a similar mind, especially when it comes to young people. We believe experience to be an invaluable teacher. To borrow a phrase from Mirabelle, it's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one who doubted they ever would.
One of the letters mentions Quidditch practice. Did you play?
I did. Was the Ravenclaw Seeker for 3 years. Oh, Merlin's beard. I adore Quidditch. Nothing like the feeling of catching the golden snitch when your team's down by 140 points. I'll never forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. I missed cheering for Ravenclaw.
I spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together.
We do. She taught me so much during my summers with her and Aiden. I shall be the first to admit that adolescents aren't always the easiest to understand. And not everyone was as kind to me as the Sprottles. But the depth of their kindness, and that of so many of my friends, got me through some challenging times, to put it mildly.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aiden. Thank you, again, for helping her, and for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories.